our approach is a committee, a Microsoft 365 committee, because this technology impacts many different teams.
I would just recommend get your. I know you mentioned you had internal SharePoint on-prem still. I would get the SharePoint guys involved into the team structure. Well, one thing that happened to us is we were on-prem SharePoint when we deployed teams during the start of COVID. And one thing we didn't realize is everybody who creates a new team on the back end, that's creating a new SharePoint online site. So we did end up having a lot of data sprawl. Then, hey, when we went to go implement SharePoint online, we're now cleaning up all these teams that were just created. So I think one big thing is to not let users create their own teams and get your SharePoint guys to kind of govern teams in a way.
We support about 600 users in 5 time zones, and we're also in the middle of a transition. We adopted Teams last year. We still have some on-prem SharePoint things. And our approach is a committee, a Microsoft 365 committee, because this technology impacts many different teams. One example was brought up, the SharePoint sites. Anytime you create a Microsoft 365 group, whether it's through Planner, Teams, SharePoint, you get a number of other things to manage, the sites, the security groups. You need a committee to create governance plans for each service. That's our approach. So there's a team that deals with Microsoft Teams. There's an owner for SharePoint. There's an owner for Power Automate, etc. And all of them converge once a month at least, or every couple of weeks, to review the systems and the implementations and the impacts as a committee. That's the IT way of handling it. And on a business, we got champions. We created a separate project for this. There are folks from legal deciding data retention, terms of use, documents, and there are people from training distributing the technical and legal documents to the organization. It's a pretty big lift, big impacts to multiple things you got to consider. It's not just video conferencing like it is with Zoom. We see it as a transition of part of an existing job. Like, for example, the SharePoint admin person and their backup who currently maintain the 2019 infrastructure, they're transitioning those responsibilities into a seat on the committee, plus those broad but maybe shallower tech skills in the Microsoft cloud.